children. Hi guys, and welcome to a classic movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Charles Laughton's The Night of the Hunter. His last film he ever directed, starring Robert Mitchum. A film about a religious fanatic who marries a gullible widow whose children are reluctant to tell him where his real dad hid $10,000. And the film I saw last weekend, and I've wanted to see for quite a long time. I've heard many good things about it, read some good reviews about how influential it's been and what an important film it was for American cinema, even if it wasn't really respected as much when it was first released, which was one of the main reasons why Laughton never directed another film. You may have heard of the name Charles Laughton. He was also a very successful actor in films like Spartacus and so on. But he never directed another movie after this, due to its critical and commercial failure at the time. But a movie review I read of Roger Ebert's review of this film, and he rates it very highly, so I was very interested in seeing it. And well, I thought that it was an incredibly interesting film, and the reasons why I'm going to let you know now. One of the main reasons is Mitchum's performance. Mitchum is fantastic in this film. He's so menacing, and he oozes menace and evil. He's truly psychotic, and he has so many lines that he delivers in such a way that really give you chills down the back of your spine. As the film goes on, he only becomes more and more disturbed and more frightening. And he really is iconic in this film, and probably his greatest performance. Definitely one of the great villains, probably of cinema. I mean, he is truly great in this film and really steals the show. One of the other things that really struck me on first viewing is the visuals of this film. The visuals are stunning. The use of shadow, the use of silhouettes, and the use of lighting is incredibly noticeable and incredibly beautiful. It definitely has a resonance to German expressionism. You can definitely see that in some of the shots, and films like film noirs, especially like The Third Man and so on. Obviously, this film is actually titled as a noir, but I think it's a vague connection, really. If I was going to name the genre of this film, I'd call it a psychological thriller. Calling it a noir, I feel, doesn't quite sort of connect to the story. But after watching it, those are the two things mainly that I thought were really good. There were things I didn't quite understand, but as I started to sort of think about this film more, I began to appreciate it more, because I feel like this film is trying to be somewhat surreal, somewhat like a nightmare or a dream, and things that it does which don't work in terms of reality and logic are the reasons why I think this is the case, and it really adds to the scares and the sort of unnerving factor of the film. And there are many things from the way Harry Powell, the religious fanatic in the film played by Robert Mitchum, gets to certain places which aren't explained, but they're kind of glossed over in this kind of surreal sort of dreamlike fashion. Some of the way that the film is shot, and just the way the characters move from scene to scene, definitely feels sort of like a nightmare, like a dream. And I found that really compelling, and I thought that, that came to mind quite a lot after seeing the film. Also, the way that the metaphors that connect to Powell as a character, and how they look at his morality and lack thereof, and that really without that morality and that conscience that stops you from doing bad things, you're really nothing more than an animal. He hunts people who are vulnerable, hunts people that are innocent, because he wants something out of them. He wants to help himself and nobody else. All he cares about is his own survival, and if he sees someone that could be used for his benefit, he's going to take that chance. And if they don't give him what he wants, they're going to die. And that's the simple fact. And that's predatory. That's animalistic. And the way they use certain visual metaphors to show that is incredibly interesting. A scene with a woman later in the film who is observing a owl and a rabbit as the owl drops off of a tree branch onto the rabbit and kills it. And you know, she observes that the world is a really tough place for little things, kind of talking about how the children of, you know, the children he's hunting it's a struggle to keep away from this psychopath that's coming after them, and compares Pal to an animal, a predator that preys on the innocent and the weak, and that really, without his moral thread, really he's nothing more than an animal. And that's a very interesting part of the film. I really enjoy that, and the fact that his only focus. There's a scene where the two children are hiding in a barn, and it's really late at night, and they see the silhouette of the horse that he's riding and him singing as he goes along. And the boy says, does he ever sleep? That he doesn't have any other focus. He drifts from place to place. He kills and takes, and the cycle continues, and that's his life. He isn't really a person, he's just a predator. And I really like the way they do that, and I feel like it's a very good character study as well as being visually stunning. So yeah, overall I really love Night of the Hunter. I sort of liked it more as I thought about it. The more I started to analyse it in my head, the more I admired it. And yes, it may not be the most accessible of films for some people, but for people that enjoy the more surreal, sort of cerebral, dreamlike types of films that are less realistic, they will definitely enjoy this film. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who likes films. Go seek it out, go check it out on Blu-ray and DVD. It's definitely worth your time. I'm going to give The Night of the Hunter 10 out of 10. It probably would have been a little bit lower, like the night I'd watched it, but as I've thought about it and as I've analysed it in my head, I've become way more fond of the film, and I think that anyone that enjoys film should definitely check it out. Just for Mitchum's performance alone, it's definitely worth your time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of Night of the Hunter and other classic movie reviews that will be coming soon and that have already been uploaded. If you did like this video, like, subscribe, and drop your favourite psychological thriller or Mitchum film or anything that you think related to this video down in the comment section below. And again, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.